I lost over 75 pounds in less than a year without cutting out a single food or spending hours in the gym. So watch this video because I'm gonna tell you exactly everything I did so you can do the same. And before you think, oh, she must have been healthy her whole life or weight loss has come easy to her, that cannot be further from the truth. I spent most of my 20s unsuccessfully trying to lose weight, trying every fat diet or quick fix you can think of, only to lose and regain the same 20 pounds and repeat that for 5 years. Then in 2020, I finally figured weight loss out, lost over 60 pounds in 6 months, kept it off for 2 years. Then I got pregnant and gained all of it back and then some, but luckily I had figured out how to finally lose weight. So then I started a postpartum weight loss journey and I've lost over 75 pounds in less than a year without cutting out a single food or spending hours in the gym. And I am the healthiest, lightest, leanest version of myself that I've been. And I'm gonna tell you exactly how to do the same. If you find this useful, please make sure you hit like and subscribe. I keep it very real around here and constantly share my most realistic and sustainable weight loss tips that you're not gonna wanna miss. Let's get right into it. The very first steps to actually losing weight is to sit down and have an honest conversation with yourself. If you're anything like me, this is not your first weight loss journey and you have tried multiple weight loss journeys in the past only to fail. You're gonna hold yourself accountable as to why you failed in the past, so you're not gonna fail this time. There is no one who can do this for you. There is no shortcut. There is no overnight solution that is gonna make you lose the weight overnight and reach your dream body by tomorrow. Weight loss takes a long time and you need to be consistent and you need to stick to it for a long period of time to see the results that you want. But you are capable of doing it. This is the last damn time you're gonna go on a weight loss journey because you are finally gonna hold yourself accountable. You are finally gonna give it 100% and you are finally gonna achieve the version of yourself that you have not quit thinking about. Once you have that conversation with yourself and you agree that you're not gonna shortcut this and you're gonna do it the right way, even if it's gonna take a long time, you're ready to move to step 2. Here is where I'm gonna reveal the magic behind weight loss. Are you ready? There is no secret, there is no magic, there is no pill, there is no magic solution or formula or product you can buy. You lose weight by eating in a calorie deficit. But what does that mean and how do you find yours? Let's dig into it. Every single day, all day, your body is burning calories. You watching this video right now, you're burning calories. How many calories you burn every day is dependent on your height, weight, age, gender, and activity level. Now, if you eat exactly the amount of calories your body naturally burns throughout the day, this is called a calorie maintenance, and this is how you stay your weight. If you eat more calories than your body naturally burns throughout the day, this is called a calorie surplus, and this is how you gain weight. And the magic, the secret, if you eat slightly less calories than your body naturally burns throughout the day, this is called a calorie deficit, and this is how you lose weight. All foods that you consume have calories. To lose weight, you just eat in a calorie deficit, which means you're eating slightly less calories than your body naturally burns throughout the day. The amazing part is you can eat whatever you want for those calories. How do you find your calorie deficit? There are a ton of formulas and thoughts on there on how to figure out your calorie deficit. I googled calorie calculator and I've always used the one at calculator.net just because that's worked for me. Here is very important. You need to enter in all of your current information and be extremely accurate, especially when it comes to your activity level. Remember, step 1, we're agreeing we're doing it the right way this time. You're committing to yourself, you're holding yourself accountable, and that starts here. Enter this information correctly. When you hit calculate, it'll tell you how many calories you need to be at a maintenance and how many calories you need to be at a deficit. Something very important to call out here. Do not choose a calorie deficit number that is too aggressive. A healthy calorie deficit is 300 to 500 calories less than your maintenance. So 300 to 500 calories I found was my sweet spot, and I lost anywhere from half a pound a week to 2 pounds a week. Some weeks I lost none, some weeks I lost more. But you need to choose a number that's not too aggressive. If you choose a number that is too aggressive, you're gonna over restrict, you're gonna feel way too hungry, it's not gonna be sustainable, and then you're gonna binge and repeat the cycle all over again. If you're already thinking in your head that you want to choose a more aggressive calorie deficit, go back to phase 1 because you're not ready to start and you're wasting your time. You figured out your calorie deficit, now what? Now we're moving on to step 3. You need to start logging, weighing, and measuring everything you consume. There are a ton of apps to help you with this. My personal favorite is Lose It. You can even just write it down in a journal. I highly recommend using an app, it just makes it easier. But you need to start tracking, logging, and weighing everything that you consume, and this is your way to verify that you are actually in a calorie deficit. For example, my calorie deficit was 1,700 to 1,800 calories a day. So at the beginning every day, I would go into Lose It, I would log everything I'm going to eat that day to make sure I am consuming an actual calorie deficit to me. Not too much to put me in a calorie maintenance, and not too few to be over aggressive. I wanted to make sure I was eating enough to be in a mild calorie deficit. So I would log all of my food for the day, and that way I knew exactly what I was eating for every single meal, and I was sure I was in a deficit. But that's only half of the equation there. You can log your food all day long, but the only way to validate that you're actually consuming what you're logging is to take the time to weigh and measure your food. If I logged that I ate 4 ounces of pasta, I need to take the time to actually weigh out that pasta so I'm positive that I'm eating what I'm logging. We are horrible at eyeballing portion sizes, and especially if you're like me where you never learned how to have a healthy relationship with food to begin with, you are not going to be accurate if you're eyeballing portion sizes. Don't undercut yourself. Don't sell yourself short. Don't make a crucial mistake that could throw off your entire weight loss journey. Take the extra 5 minutes to weigh and measure your food before you eat it so you're eating what you're logging. The good news is almost everything is available in these applications. So I use Lose It. I have had rare instances where I cannot find something. Fast food, restaurants, grocery store items, they're all in there, so it makes it really easy to log. The best tip I can give you is to log your food for the day ahead of time. This saves so much stress, so much time, and it makes sure you're actually in a calorie deficit for the day without overcomplicating it and without getting to 5 o'clock and you realize you only have 200 calories left. Log your food ahead of time. To circle back on something I said earlier, you can eat whatever you want for those calories. The best part about realizing all you have to do to lose weight is eat in a calorie deficit is realizing you can eat whatever you want for those foods. There is no reason you have to avoid carbs or pasta or pizza. I ate everything while losing weight. I ate out, I ate fast food, I ate fried food, I ate healthy food, I ate greens, vegetables, pastas. I ate everything. Nothing was off limits, and that's why I was able to lose the weight, because it was so sustainable. All that matters is you're eating in a calorie deficit. Now, key note, what I'm not saying is to only eat 1,700 calories worth of cake every day. You would feel really awful really quick. You'd be hungry, you'd be irritable, and that's also not sustainable. But what I am saying is you should have a balance of all foods. So what I did is I focused on a lot of high volume, high protein, low calorie foods throughout the day and saved a couple hundred calories for a little dessert and treat and my favorite foods there. This balance made it so incredibly sustainable to stick with this long enough to lose the weight. I did not focus on carbs, I did not focus on fat, but I did focus on protein. Protein is important because protein is what maintains your muscle mass and it helps you feel full. So I really recommend focusing on low calorie, high protein options. A good ratio is 10-1. So for every 10 calories, it should be 1 gram of protein. If something is 200 calories, it should have at least 20 grams of protein. I try to achieve that most of the time so that I felt fuller and was positive I was losing fat weight instead of muscle weight. So you know how to figure out your calorie deficit. You know how to start logging and tracking and measuring your food. The next step, let's talk about moving your body. In the past, when I started a weight loss journey, I thought that I had to go to the gym and exercise in order to lose weight. That is not true. All that matters is you're in a calorie deficit. However, the more active you are, the more calories your body naturally burns throughout the day, and the more you can eat while staying in a calorie deficit. The good news is moving your body can look like anything. It does not have to be in a gym. My first weight loss journey was in 2020. All of the gyms were closed. My second weight loss journey was a postpartum weight loss journey. I worked from home full time while taking care of my daughter. I didn't have time to go to the gym. So what I did for both weight loss journeys was walking. Walking is the most underrated way to move your body for a weight loss journey. It is incredibly sustainable. Most people can do it. It's free. You can do it anywhere, and it makes such a huge difference with your weight loss journey. I aim to go for a 30 to 45 minute walk every single day, and I really try to hit 10,000 steps every single day. There was no gym when I was losing weight. There was nothing else I did except walk and eat in a calorie deficit. That's it. That is the secret to weight loss. You don't have to cut out foods. You don't have to spend hours in the gym. All you have to do is be honest, hold yourself accountable, eat in a calorie deficit, and move your body in a way you enjoy. And again, that's even optional. But if you sit here and tell me, but Cassie, I have been eating in a calorie deficit and I do walk and I'm still not losing weight, let's talk about that. To keep it completely honest with you, if you are not losing weight, you're not in a calorie deficit, and here are some things you should check. Number one, are you being consistent enough? This is a huge thing that a lot of people miss out on. Now, there is extremes to this. You do not have to be perfect, and honestly, telling yourself you have to be perfect and having all or nothing mentality is setting you up for failure. Telling yourself you have to be perfect just sets you up for failure, because life happens and you do not have to be perfect. You are allowed to have days where you don't eat at a calorie deficit. However, you do need to be consistent, and often people aren't consistent enough. They track and they eat really well Monday through Thursday, but they don't track on the weekends. Those extra calories on a weekend make it very easy to overthrow your calorie deficit for the week. Remember, my calorie deficit is only 300 to 500 calories less a day. So having a really heavy Saturday and Sunday can easily throw off your calorie deficit for the week. So sit down and ask yourself, if you're not losing weight, am I being consistent enough? Truly, remember, go back to step one. You're holding yourself accountable. We're giving it our all. We're being honest with ourselves this time. Are you being consistent enough? If the answer to that is yes, then the next question you should be asking yourself is, am I being accurate? Am I taking the time to weigh and measure everything I consume? The cooking oils, the coffee creamers, the coffees, the condiments, the little bits off your kid's plate, all of those have calories, and people don't realize that those little bites add up. Again, a mild calorie deficit is not much lower than your maintenance, and those little bites and little extra sauces or things that you eyeball can add up really fast. So double check your accuracy and spend the extra 5 minutes a day to actually weigh and measure and log all of your food. If the answer to that is, yeah, I'm being consistent and yeah, I'm being accurate, then ask yourself, are you giving it enough time? We grew up in an era where being thin was very important. I was born in 1995. I grew up in the early 2000s. Every magazine cover I can remember growing up was how to lose 50 pounds by the summer, how to get your best body, how to lose belly fat, how to do all of this as quickly as possible. We were conditioned to expect really fast results when it came to weight loss. This is part of the reason why I failed in the past is I tried to rush it and lose weight as quickly as possible. Weight loss is slow, but the time will pass anyway. You will not lose 30 pounds in a month, nor should you lose 30 pounds in a month. The time is going to pass anyway. So if you're struggling to see results, ask yourself, have you given it enough time? Have you only given it a week or two? Are you only giving it a month and say you're not losing weight because you've only lost 5 pounds? Give it time, reset your expectations, and make sure you're being patient enough to actually give it time and to see the results. If all of those things are true, you are being consistent, you are being accurate, and you are being patient, then you're just not in a calorie deficit for you. The number that you've been hitting every day is likely a little bit too high. So try lowering your calorie deficit limit by 100 to 200 calories and give it 1 to 2 weeks and see how your weight adjusts. I learned so many things on both of my weight loss journeys, so many what to do's, things I wish I would knew sooner, tips, tricks, mistakes. So let me know what you want to see next to help you with your weight loss journey.